My dear listener, angels have an urgent message for you today. Heaven is moving on your behalf right now, and what I'm about to share will confirm what your spirit has already been sensing. The person you walked away from, the one you released with strength and self-respect, is being prepared by God to finally express the depth of their genuine feelings for you. They are actively trying to bring you back into their life. And my dear, they are desperately curious about what's currently happening with you. The angels are revealing divine secrets about this moment, and you need to hear every word of what's unfolding in the spiritual realm concerning your connection. Let me tell you what the angels are revealing about this divine moment unfolding in your life. There are movements happening behind the veil that your natural eyes cannot see, but your spirit has been sensing the shift. God has been orchestrating circumstances, aligning hearts, and removing obstacles that have kept you separated from this divine connection. The timing of you hearing this message is no accident. Heaven sent you here today because breakthrough is imminent, and your faith needs to be strengthened for what's about to manifest in your life. When you made the decision to disconnect from this person, it wasn't weakness. It was warfare. You didn't walk away out of indifference or lack of love. You walked away because God was calling you higher, and your obedience to that calling shook this person's world in ways they never expected. Proverbs 21:1 tells us, "The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. Like the rivers of water, he turns it wherever he wishes." And my dear, God has been turning their heart back toward truth, back toward healing, back toward you. Your silence became the most powerful spiritual weapon you could have used, because it forced them to face themselves, face their choices, and face the reality of life without you in it. Your withdrawal forced them to confront emotions they had been suppressing for far too long. Emotions they were too afraid or too proud to acknowledge when you were still present in their life. Suddenly, without your presence, without your energy, without your light illuminating their path, they realized what they had lost and what they had taken for granted. The connection they share with you goes far beyond surface attraction or fleeting emotion. This is a soul-deep bond ordained by heaven, written in the books of destiny before either of you took your first breath. This bond has been challenging them, mirroring their unhealed wounds, exposing their fears, and calling them into their true purpose and highest potential. And here's what angels want you to know. This awakening, though painful, was absolutely necessary. Not just for them, but for you as well. Because separation reveals what union conceals and distance brings clarity, that proximity sometimes clouds. You needed to step back to protect your peace, to remember your worth, to reconnect with your own identity outside of this connection. They needed you to step back to finally wake up, to feel the weight of their choices, to understand that your presence was never something to be taken lightly or treated carelessly. And now the universe is preparing to reward your patience in ways that will absolutely astound you, in ways that will make every tear you cried, every prayer you whispered, every night you endured worth it all. Something you've been praying for, perhaps for months, maybe even years, is on the verge of manifesting in your physical reality. You may already feel the energy shifting around you, subtle but undeniable, like the air changes right before a storm breaks, or the way dawn feels different just before the sun rises. Whether this manifests as a heartfelt confession of their feelings, an emotional reunion, unexpected communication, or simply meaningful time spent together rebuilding what was broken. This moment, will be the culmination of all the lessons, growth, and healing that have taken place. Every test you passed, every temptation you resisted, every moment you chose faith over fear has been preparing you for this divine appointment. The connection you share has not disappeared, my dear. It has been refined in the fire of separation, purified in the wilderness of waiting. It is being reshaped by God into something stronger, more authentic, and more aligned with who you both are becoming through this transformative journey. What you're about to experience is not a return to what was, but an elevation into what was always meant to be. This is not about going backward. This is about moving forward into a divinely orchestrated union, built on healed hearts, mature love, and mutual spiritual alignment. Now let me tell you what's happening on their end, because this will validate everything your spirit has been discerning, every intuitive hit you've been receiving. The Holy Spirit wants you to know that your discernment has been accurate. What you've been sensing in your spirit about their internal struggle, their regret, their longing is absolutely true. Angels have been watching their every move, monitoring their heart, and reporting back to heaven about the transformation taking place within them. What I'm about to share will confirm that you were right to trust your intuition, right to hold your ground, and right to believe that this connection was worth fighting for in the spiritual realm through prayer and faith. This person has come to realize just how complicated they made their own life by running from something real and chasing things that were temporary. For far too long, they allowed confusion, fear, and outside influences to create barriers between you. Barriers that were never meant to exist. Walls they built with their own hands out of unhealed trauma and misguided self-protection. They may have overthought every detail, analyzed every word, questioned every feeling, or chosen distractions over honesty, entertained situations that had no business in their space, and gave energy to connections that were never divinely ordained. But when you pulled away, when you chose yourself, when you honored your worth, the clarity they had been avoiding started to emerge like fog lifting from a mountain at sunrise. They now see that much of the chaos they were entangled in was self-created, a reflection of their inner turmoil and unhealed wounds, rather than actual external circumstances requiring their attention. Every complicated situation, every drama, every distraction was really just a mirror showing them parts of themselves they weren't ready to face. And my dear, with this awareness, they are actively fighting their way out of the mess they created, cutting ties, setting boundaries, making hard decisions, and finally choosing truth over comfort. They are making decisions right now that will lead them back to you, back to peace, back to authenticity, back to the love that has been waiting patiently all along, anchored in faith and rooted in divine purpose. At night, when everything is quiet and their defenses are down, they find themselves dreaming about you. Not just sleeping dreams, but waking visions of what life could be. Not in a fantasy sense where everything is perfect and problems don't exist, but in a grounded, mature, realistic way where they see the possibility of genuine partnership built on honesty and mutual respect. They see your smile in their mind's eye, hear your voice echoing in their memory, feel your energy even across the distance, and wonder how they ever let something so real slip away from their grasp. These dreams are not coincidence, not just random thoughts or wishful thinking. They are heaven's way of pulling them toward the truth they've been running from, divine downloads preparing their heart for reunion. Every time they close their eyes, the energy of your connection calls out to them like a spiritual tether that cannot be broken by time or distance. It's urging them toward healing and reconciliation, pulling them out of darkness and into light, drawing them away from counterfeit connections and toward the authentic love they share with you. The universe is literally using their own subconscious mind to remind them of what matters, to show them what they're missing, and to prepare them emotionally for the vulnerability required to come back to you with truth and sincerity. This spiritual warfare is being won in the dream realm before it manifests in the physical. And angels want you to know that victory is already secured. If you feel led to support this mission of spreading prophetic and anointed words from heaven, consider contributing through a super thanks. Whether it's $5, $10, $20, or more. May God bless every giver 100-fold and return to you the desires of your heart in divine timing. Your offering helps us continue to share God's love with those who need it most. Together we are building a community rooted in faith, anchored in love and aligned with purpose. Meanwhile, your own life has not stood still. You too have been on a journey, walking through your own valley of transformation and climbing your own mountain of faith. You too have been healing, learning to release pain that wasn't yours to carry, expectations that were weighing you down, and the need to control the outcome or force divine timing. The universe has been guiding you through lessons of patience, faith, and radical self-love, teaching you that you are whole on your own, that your worth is not determined by anyone's recognition of it, and that God's timing is always perfect, even when it feels delayed. Every challenge you faced, every test you endured, every moment you wanted to give up but chose to keep going, all of it was meant to prepare you for what is coming, to strengthen your spiritual muscles for the weight of the blessing you're about to carry. The healing taking place within you is not only for your own well-being, it's creating the energetic alignment needed to bring this connection back together in divine timing at the exact right moment. Isaiah 40:31 promises, "Those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles." And my dear, your wings are being strengthened right now. Your spiritual vision is sharpening. Your discernment is increasing. Your faith is being fortified. You are not the same person who entered this season of separation. You have been transformed, refined, elevated, and prepared for a level of love you couldn't have handled before this growth took place. The woman who emerges from this wilderness season will be unrecognizable to those who knew her before, because God has been doing a private work that will soon have public manifestation. Your person senses this shift happening within you. They can feel your growth, even from a distance. And it both humbles and inspires them in ways they can't fully articulate. It makes them want to become better, not because they feel pressured or obligated, but because they finally understand that to stand beside you as an equal partner, they must first stand in their own truth and do their own healing work. They are cleaning up their life, setting boundaries with people who drain their energy, walking away from negativity and toxic patterns, letting go of anything that prevents them from being authentic, and facing the parts of themselves they've been avoiding. Your elevation is literally pulling them higher. Your light is exposing their darkness, and your peace is making them uncomfortable with their own chaos. With each step they take toward healing and wholeness, they are moving closer to you, not from a place of desperation or dependency, but from confidence, integrity, and genuine transformation. And this, my dear, is exactly what God has been orchestrating behind the scenes while you've been faithfully waiting and trusting the process. Heaven doesn't bring people back together the same way they fell apart. There must be growth. There must be change. There must be elevation on both sides before divine reunion can occur. What you're about to experience is not a recycled version of an old relationship, but a completely new covenant built on a foundation of healed hearts and spiritual maturity. Your personal growth is creating ripples in every relationship around you. Your family notices the change. Your friends see the difference. Even strangers can sense there's something different about your energy. As you heal, your energy transforms and shifts into a higher frequency, and people can sense it even if they can't explain it. Some are drawn to it. Others are repelled by it because your light exposes what's hidden in darkness. Old cycles are breaking that have held your bloodline in bondage for generations. Toxic connections are fading away naturally without you having to force them out. And karmic contracts are being dissolved in the spiritual realm. You are attracting new opportunities that align with your purpose. Genuine friendships built on reciprocity and authenticity, and experiences that align with your higher path and divine destiny. The universe is blessing you with abundance in every area of your life, emotionally, spiritually, and yes, even materially in ways you haven't even thought to ask for. Everything you've been manifesting through prayer, through visualization, through faith declarations, is beginning to take shape in the invisible realm before it manifests in the visible. All you need to do now is trust the process even when you can't see the full picture. Stand firm in your faith even when circumstances seem to contradict the promise, even when it feels uncertain. When doubt tries to creep in, when fear whispers that you've been waiting in vain, remember Habakkuk 2:3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it will speak and it will not lie. Though it tarries, wait for it, because it will surely come. Your appointed time is here, my dear. What you've been believing for is about to speak and manifest in your reality. The person who once seemed distant, cold, unavailable, and emotionally disconnected is now preparing to show you the depth and passion of their genuine feelings in ways that will leave no room for doubt. They are no longer content with silence or avoidance. The comfortable distance they once maintained is now suffocating them. The walls they built for protection now feel like a prison. They want to express what has been in their heart all along. The love they were too afraid to speak. The regret that haunts them daily. The desire for a new beginning built on truth instead of fear. This time, their words will carry sincerity and clarity that was missing before. You'll feel the difference. You'll sense the authenticity. You'll know in your spirit that this is real and not just another empty promise or temporary emotional impulse. They want you to know that you were never forgotten during this time. Apart, not for a single day, not for a single moment, even when silence made you feel invisible. That the connection between you was never imagined or one-sided. It was real. It is real. And it will always be real because it was ordained by heaven before time began. At this very moment, as you're hearing these words, they are actively manifesting you back into their life. Through their thoughts, their prayers, their intentions, and their actions. They think about you constantly. When they wake up, throughout their day, and especially in the quiet moments before sleep, when truth can no longer be suppressed by the noise of daily life. They may even be trying to learn what's been happening with you, gathering information through indirect channels, perhaps through mutual friends who still connect both of your worlds, through social media where they watch your stories and posts without always engaging, or through quiet intuition and spiritual downloads that tell them things no one else could know. Their curiosity stems from a deep longing to reconnect, to bridge the gap that separation created, to understand how you've changed during this time apart, and what place they might still hold in your world and in your heart. They're afraid that too much time has passed, that you've moved on, that you've healed so completely that there's no longer space for them. But that fear is exactly what's motivating them to act before it's truly too late. Angels are showing me something beautiful about their heart right now that I need you to understand, so you can receive them with grace when they finally reach out. They're deeply grateful for the space you gave them, a gift that not everyone has the patience, wisdom, or emotional maturity to offer someone they love. In a world where people demand instant reassurance and constant attention, where love is often conditional on consistency and immediate reciprocation, you chose to step back and allow them to find themselves without ultimatums or manipulation. That choice speaks volumes about your emotional intelligence and spiritual maturity. It shows that you understand divine timing, that you trust God's plan more than your own desires, and that you're secure enough in your worth to release what's meant for you, knowing it will return. They recognize how selfless and compassionate it was of you to give them room to breathe, to heal, to sort out the chaos that was consuming their life and clouding their judgment. Your patience left a profound impression on them that they'll carry forever. It changed how they view love, relationships, and what it means to truly care for someone beyond selfish desire. They often reflect on how calmly you navigated the uncertainty when others would have reacted with anger, how steady and unshakable you remained even when things felt hopeless, trusting that if something is meant to be, it will find its way back without force or manipulation. Many would have given up after the first month of silence, grown frustrated, and moved on to someone easier, allowed insecurity to take over and driven them further away with desperate energy. But you didn't do any of that. You stood firm in your truth, anchored in your worth, knowing that love is about respect and space, not control or possession, and that spiritual principles set you apart from everyone else they've known. You didn't chase, didn't beg, didn't lower your standards or compromise your peace just to keep them in your life. And that dignity, that self-respect, that unshakable confidence in your value made them see you in a completely different light. This realization has changed how they view not only you, but relationships in general, and what real love actually looks like when it's rooted in spiritual truth, rather than emotional codependency. You've shown them that real love is about growth, understanding and trust, not constant validation, not daily proof, not performance or people-pleasing to maintain connection. This realization has helped them mature emotionally and spiritually in ways that no amount of talking or explaining could have achieved. Sometimes people need to lose you to find themselves. Your maturity has set you apart from everyone else they've known. Every other connection pales in comparison to the depth and authenticity you brought into their life. They've come to see that you're not easily manipulated, nor do you fall for emotional games or toxic patterns. You see through facades. You recognize inauthenticity. You don't settle for breadcrumbs when you deserve the whole meal. You remain grounded in who you are regardless of external circumstances or other people's opinions. And this both challenges and inspires them to rise to your level rather than asking you to descend to theirs. Even from a distance, They watch you closely, more closely than you realize, with more attention than they'd ever admit out loud. They notice how you move through life with grace, how you carry yourself with dignity even through difficulty, how you continue to grow and shine despite the separation and the pain it caused. The physical distance between you hurts them more than they let on. Pride keeps them from expressing it. Fear keeps them from reaching out. But the pain is constant and growing. On the surface, they may appear composed, unbothered, even detached at times when you see them or hear about them through others. But deep down they feel your absence every single day like a missing limb or a constant ache that never fully goes away. You are unforgettable to them. This is not an exaggeration or poetic language. This is spiritual truth that angels are confirming right now. No matter how much time passes or how far apart you may be physically, you have become a part of them, etched into their soul, woven into their thoughts, embedded in their emotions in ways no one else could replace or replicate. They see you as their anchor, the person who reminds them of what is real and meaningful when the world feels fake and superficial. You represent truth, authenticity, home. You are their biggest inspiration, motivating them to become better, not just for the relationship or to win you back, but for themselves and their own spiritual evolution and life purpose. My dear, you are being guided to remain open yet grounded as this unfolds in the coming days and weeks. This is the balance heaven is calling you to walk in. Do not chase. Do not break your silence out of anxiety or impatience. But do not close your heart either out of fear of being hurt again or pride that won't allow second chances. Continue focusing on your own path, your purpose, your joy, your healing. These things must remain your priority regardless of whether this person returns or not, because your wholeness cannot depend on their choices. The more you align with your own light, your own truth, your own divine assignment, the more naturally this connection will align with you in perfect timing without you having to force, manipulate, or compromise anything about who you've become. The universe is orchestrating something beautiful behind the scenes that will exceed your expectations and restore your faith in divine love. A reunion built on truth, not illusion on growth, not dependency on healed hearts, not wounded souls seeking completion in each other. So keep trusting the journey even when you can't see the destination. Keep believing even when evidence seems to contradict the promise. Keep walking in faith even when fear tempts you to give up. What is meant for you cannot be lost. Not to time, not to distance, not to another person, not to circumstances. Divine appointments cannot be canceled by human interference. And what is unfolding now is the result of all the love, patience, and faith you've poured into your life when no one was watching and when you had every reason to quit, but chose to keep believing. Very soon you will see the evidence of this energy manifesting in your physical reality, not as fantasy or wishful thinking, but as real, tangible shift that you can touch, feel, and experience. Love, clarity, and connection are returning to your life in divine timing. And when it happens, you'll understand why the wait was necessary, why the separation had to occur, why every tear had purpose. Everything is aligning perfectly in the spiritual realm, and what's been promised in the secret place is about to be revealed in the public space for all to witness. Hold on just a little longer, my dear. Your breakthrough is closer than you think. Heavenly Father, I lift up every soul watching this message right now, every heart that's been waiting, every spirit that's been believing, every person who chose faith over fear. You know their name. You know their story. You know the prayers they've whispered in the midnight hour when no one else was listening but you. Lord, I pray that you would comfort their heart with your presence, strengthen their faith when doubt tries to creep in, and confirm this word in undeniable ways that remove all question. Let them feel your presence surrounding them like a warm embrace, reassuring them that their waiting has not been in vain, and their tears have not been ignored. Let them know that their patience has not been in vain, that every day of waiting was an investment in a harvest they're about to reap. Bring divine alignment between hearts that belong together, divine timing that orchestrates reunion at the perfect moment, and divine love that heals what's been broken and restores what's been lost. Restore what the enemy has stolen through delay, through disappointment, through discouragement. Give it all back 100-fold, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Heal what has been broken in their heart, in their mind, in their ability to trust and receive love again. And let this reunion be a testimony of your faithfulness that encourages others who are still waiting for their own breakthrough. In Jesus' mighty name, amen.